You keep experiencing the same pain. This work is about unwinding all of your self-imposed limitations by understanding where they come from. The problem is when we neglect our inner child wounds, when we try to seek explanations in our adult external life and we don't, or we're not willing to go back, we're not willing to be vulnerable with ourselves and go back into that state where we were very impressionable and we were very open and we were perhaps misguided, or we were not treated the way we needed to be treated. If we don't go back there and really start to understand how our nervous systems developed, we continue to repeat the same cycles. If you are, for example, doing lots of healing work and finding that you're not actually feeling any shift, getting any changes, you're not, your health perhaps is even deteriorating, or you're feeling the same that you always have felt, just with some superficial slight changes, this is another indication that you have an opportunity to go back to the inner child realm and start to deepen your connection with your inner child and what they experienced. So noticing cycles and patterns, noticing where you're not getting resolution and therefore you're stuck in the same place, noticing where you're holding yourself back or where you feel held back, but you're not really too sure why, therefore you're unable to move forward. So what these three things have in common is they prevent you from moving forward. They prevent you from growth, meaningful growth. They prevent you from getting to what you are dreaming about, allowing yourself to live the life that you're really dreaming about inside. And then what tends to happen is we tend to look externally at all the things that we perceive and perhaps are actually blocking and in the way. And we tend to make it all about the external. And actually that doesn't end up helping us to move through those blocks, because most of the time, those blocks are living within our bodies. They are living within our early childhood nervous system. When I say early childhood nervous system, I tend to refer to the imprints in our nervous system, in our body, through our organs, through our vagus nerve, in our brain, in our fluids, in our energy body, in our heart, the imprints that have kind of crystallized there, and they've crystallized from maybe in utero, or maybe when we were very young, pre-verbal stages, maybe throughout our early childhood up until the age of 10, 12, etc. This is when we tend to be most receptive and most vulnerable, because our bodies and nervous systems are developing, our brains are very open, very receptive, and we are learning constantly about what we are based on what we feel and what is happening around us. You approach these challenges and you approach life from a very similar, if not the same, level of embodiment as your inner child would. So that might mean, for example, you have a new challenge, you don't know what to do, and it's a new challenge. You've never done this before. Maybe your boss has given you something to do at work. Immediately, you start feeling overwhelmed, and then you freeze. Your body goes into that fight, flight, or freeze mode. You're freezing, you don't know what to do, you don't even know how to ask about clarification. You immediately then start telling yourself that you must be stupid because you're feeling this way, and you're reinforcing the shame that you experienced as a child, perhaps when you had a task and you didn't know how to do it and weren't given support, help, encouragement, and you weren't taught. So you were left alone to struggle, or maybe you did try and you didn't get it right and you were shamed. Whatever it was that happened to you, if it happened repeatedly and it led to a belief system within you, usually I'm not good enough, I can't do this, this is too much for me, I'm not as good as everybody else, etc., etc. If you haven't healed this fundamental core belief and how it lives in your body and what experiences that it sprung and grew from, if you don't know any of that, you don't have clarity over that, doing inner child healing work is going to help you, because otherwise what happens is it just keeps resurfacing through your life. Every time you're faced with a similar challenge, problem, task, which actually could be a really big opportunity for you, you end up feeling that same way about it, and you end up crushing yourself in a way, being really, really tough on yourself, really hard on yourself, maybe going into fight, flight. Again, repeated experiences of this will lead to increased levels of stress in your body, will start to alter your nervous system, your brain, and will, over the years, start to lead you into a sense of self that is distorted because it is based on your trauma imprints rather than being based on your true essence and potential. If you're getting any images, if you're getting any impressions of pain, of memories from your childhood that start to come up as you reflect on the way that you show up in relationship, you probably are going to notice certain sensations, certain impressions in your body, memories that make you think of the past and make you think of what was going on for you as a child. And if this is happening and you're listening to this right now, slow everything down and just recognize, first of all, that it is normal for this to happen. You're not out of the ordinary, and it's a good thing because it means that your body is now starting to process and you're becoming aware and you're going to be able to heal it. If you're listening to this completely numb, no idea what that's about, don't feel anything, this is an opportunity for you to open up and see how receptive you can be to this notion that your inner child has probably guided a lot more of your behavior, relational behavior, than perhaps you're aware of. Thinking about what you want going forward is going to really help to guide your inner child work. You've got to know why you're doing this, right? Why are you doing inner child healing work? You're doing it for yourself so you can feel whatever it is that you want to feel and do whatever it is you want to do. It's very personal. And when that drive, when that impetus, when the desire for that higher level of being and relating becomes more strong than the fear of what you might uncover, that's when you do the work relentlessly. And that's when you become dedicated to doing the work until you are willing to get taken all the way down into why you are the way you are. Why have you created this identity, and how do you recreate your identity?